7th, 2021, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'd like to personally thank the Houston Astros. Lost my hat on it yesterday. Happens. But it certainly wasn't Bailey Ober's doing. And, well, I should have maybe done it with the Indians Tigers instead. But, damn, because that one was easy. But, oh well, it happens. Yeah, so... got 15 games today. Almost all of them are gigantic lines. I struggled not to find games that I like, could pick a winner. Found games that I struggle to find games that I could possibly bet, which is rare because I'm pretty easy to bet on just about anything. Most people know that about me. But yeah, a couple interesting things that I saw. So I saw a statistic, and I believe that it's true, that Greg Maddux faced in his career 21,430 batters. 310 of them saw a 3-0 count out of 21,340. Wow. I totally believe it. And of those 310, of the 21,340, 170 were intentional walks.
Oh, yeah, good, yeah.
So only 140 batters out of 21,340 ever saw a 3-0 count against Greg Maddux. And you wonder why he won so many Cy Young awards without really having, high velocity, right? Because he threw the ball over the plate. He had good stuff, right? He just had really good stuff. And that's really what it is. YouTube sent me to a fake pick dog site.
Yeah, how do they do that?
Yeah, I would like to see that because we can
definitely fix that.
Yeah, YouTube is not YouTube doesn't tolerate that stuff.
No.
Wow.
Aaron Nola used to remind me of Greg Maddux.
Oh God, it's not even.
Well, Aaron Nola doesn't have the fastball, but he had the pinpoint location.
This is this going back to the
not this
Joe
season,
Montana thing?
Yeah. I just think Aaron Nola is that type.
Who was the guy on the Ravens? What was his name? From Trace McGrady?
Trace McSorley.
McSorley.
Yeah, he's the next Joe Montana.
He reminds me Brian a lot of Joe Montana.
Just like with you, with Tua being the next freaking Hall of Fame quarterback.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Believe me, Peyton Manning's first snap that he ever took was a fumble.
Interception.
Fumble. And Bernie a lot of quarterbacks like that have struggled. I think Peyton Manning, didn't they lose every game his first year?
I think so.
I think they lost every single game.
They were terrible.
They were terrible. And Troy Aikman, too. So, believe me, it happens. It happens. They turn around. And Troy Aikman in college, even in college, same thing. His first play in college, he broke his leg. Of course, that was on the other side of that one, so it wasn't such a bad day. But
it's not so bad.
It was like 21,430 batters. 310 batters face a 3-0 count. That's how you win that many games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this wasting pitch thing that's happened in the last 4 or 5 years. This is like the worst thing that's happened since like, they finally made the rule, right? That's like you can't change pitchers every pitch. It's like you're not allowed to do it. It's like that was the worst.
Have to face 3 batters? 3 batters now?
Yeah.
Or get to the end of the inning.
Or get to the end of the inning.
Or end of the inning, yeah.
Which is way better. I also like the mound visit limitation because Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, me too.
Wilson Contreras is a lot less annoying to watch, right? I mean, he leads the league in mound visits, right? I mean, he's the reason why they made this. It was just ridiculous. It was like not just once or twice an inning. It was every other pitch. It got to be. It was just too much. Too much. But anyways.
I think you should be able to change your pitcher whenever you want to.
I don't think so, man. I think it makes the game extremely painful to watch. That's how you get into 4 or 5 inning games.
Yeah, but you only have so many pitchers. I mean, when they're used up, they're used up. That's why they especially left-handers on the team.
Didn't Boston put in a position player? Because I saw someone throwing ephesus last night. I didn't see the. I don't watch it with sound, but the game was pretty much over. But so I wasn't really paying attention. But I turned back over, just to look on the side of the screen. And I saw someone in there throwing ephesus. So I'm gonna guess that they brought in a position player.
Yes. Jonathan Aruz.
Yeah, is that what it was? Yeah,
Yeah.
he was throwing ephesus. It actually wasn't bad. I would say, even though the Jays have the big guns going today, I don't know what's going to happen in that one. I mean, the thing is, they really, really rubbed the salt in, right? I mean, they really twisted the knife in on them. You got, in football, it's kind of like at the end of the game taking a knee, right? Isn't it sort of like taking a knee? And it's like the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, in baseball it's a little different because you have your individual statistics. And when you go to renegotiate your contract, and it's kind of like, what's his name, the idiot on the Browns that cost us the cover? What's his name, that running back?
Oh, Nick Chubb.
Oh, yeah. When he ran out of bounds at the 1 yard. Like, we could only hope that cost him, millions and millions of dollars in his contract negotiations. Like, he was 1 yard short of a bonus, or a touchdown short of a bonus. You can only hope that it cost him millions of dollars.
Yeah, never in doubt. Easy winner.
Yeah. Kind of like the Indians last night. Never in doubt. It's like, I think they could.
That was true. I missed the boat on that because normally I would.
Quantrill was unhittable.
Tigers were a sucker play, and I fell for it.
Quantrill was unhittable again.
Again.
So here's a stupid statistic: Yankees 7-1 since picking up Gallo and Rizzo. Yeah, they played the Orioles and the Marlins, right, and the Mariners. So okay, you played the bottom feeders. How many teams have they played with a winning record? How many of those games were against the team with a winning record? This is another thing. I don't follow baseball schedules, but are the Yankees, did they play the tough part of their schedule and that's why they weren't hitting, all those times, and now they have the easy part. And kind of the Indians, the same thing, right? We talked about this yesterday too, where it's like they always play really well in August and September. Well, look at the road trip they just came off of, right? Just brutal. Is it because now they've gotten those tough teams out of the way and they usually generally have an easy schedule August and September? I mean, I don't know. It's like certainly things to look at. But we've got 15 games today. Let's get into it. Been on for a little while. We've given people a chance to join us. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Be sure to support us. If any questions, I'm hatless because I bet Brian on the Twins Astros game. A game that I didn't put a real bet on.
I have a question for you. Do you get that hair? Do you use a razor? Because I just get a shaver out.
I just have a shaver. It's a brawn. It's not a brawn. It's a whatever. The wall. I got at Walmart, whatever, or Target or something.
I need to go a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's yeah. It's just, and I do it every other day. I don't mess around with it.
I can't mess with my twins. That's what happens.
Yeah, I could grow in my hair.
I could grow it in too, and I'd look pretty ridiculous.
It's a little patchy up here, is what it was. It was just thin, so that's why I shaved it all off. If you watch my videos like 2 years ago, I had a full head of hair. I like this look. I think it makes me look.
One of these days, I'll have a hairpiece.
I actually think that it makes me look younger, if that's possible.
Old and crappy.
I am old, aren't I? You're old and crappy. Let's get to this.
It's a nice Christmas card.
You're old and crappy. It's like, That was a really nice thing to say to. So I think what people, I think we need to come back to the old and crappy stuff. I think what it is that, and I know most people, they don't care, but it's like, I don't think people understand that they see me here and it's like, oh, Mitch is an asshole. Mitch is this. Mitch is, because I'm opinionated, right? So they think it makes me an asshole. But I think behind the scenes, what you guys don't see is I change people's lives that work with me. And, some people are appreciative and some people forget that happened and said, oh, it would have just happened anyway. And, and that's just the way that it works. And like me or hate me, it is the truth. And that's why these guys stick around. Because they know it's the truth. Believe me, there are days they want to kill me. I know it.
No, I don't think not that harsh. Well,
there are days you're mad at me. I know it.
we have a little disagreement.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
we want to kill you. That's going a little bit too far.
I understand. But I made it figuratively. I made it figuratively. But at the same time, I've created opportunities for you that probably weren't there before.
Oh, 100%. Very grateful. Grateful for everybody watching.
Yeah, and I think that's what people don't see. And that's what people don't see. And it's okay. Because that's not why I do it. But it's like people make general statements about me that that are it bugs me because they're not true. And it's like it's just a bad guess. It's like, oh man, you're so mean to Brian. He should leave. It's like you could ask him. I would hope Brian would one day say, you know what? You guys say that all the time, but my life is a lot better now than it was. A lot better.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm not getting more women, but
that's you got to go to the $22 tip. You got to go 10% more than everybody else. It's like, what's his name? Diaco, when he coached UConn. It's like, we got to go 10% harder than everybody else. Our red zone starts on the 22-yard line. It's like, what? I'm fading you. It's like he said that. I'm like, I'm fading your ass. We got to go 10% more than everybody else. Our red zone starts on the 22-yard line.
And how square are the White Sox today? Holy crap. Everybody's bet.
Anyways, Yankees, Mariners, Cubs, White Sox, Red Sox, Blue Jays, round one, and Rangers, A's. Man, the Rangers showed up last night. Foltynewicz shut him down a little bit. A little faulty action. Brian, what do you like of this big four?
Yeah, my free picks were brutal yesterday. My premium picks were brutal. I saw the light. I'm going to take the Blue Jays here in game one. Just a small one because I'm worried that they might lose one of the two games. But, Robbie Ray's been fantastic on the mound all season. I think it's 7 of his last 8 starts have been quality starts. No reason why he doesn't have another one here. The juice is a little higher than I like to pay, but I'll step up on that one. And then the Cubbies, I'm just going to fade the public here, take the Chicago Cubs for another $100. I lost the 100 yesterday, but
might as well make it 2.
I mean, if you look at Rodon on the mound, he hasn't been sharp in his last 2 starts. I think the innings.
And Alzolay has been.
Alzolay's been a train wreck lately, and he's a young pitcher. But I don't think this is going to come down to starting pitchers. I think the White Sox are going to give up a home run late like they did yesterday, but this time it'll come back to bite them. So I think I'll run with the Cubs here. Nothing big. White Sox are way too square.
Ron Romanelli.
For me, I'm going to take the over in that Mariners-Yankees game. You see Chris Flexen against Andrew Heaney, 2 pitchers that have faced off against each other when Heaney was on the Angels. Heaney didn't do well in his first start with the Yankees, gave up 4 home runs. Even though he had a strong start to the game and then just totally imploded as the outing went on. I think the Mariners touch him up a bit in this one, and I think the Yankees also get to Chris Flexen here. I don't think the starting pitchers are going to have a say in the decision in this one, but I think we're going to see a high-scoring game, a lot different than what we saw yesterday in that 3-2 extra inning one. And I'm also going to take the over in game 1 of the Red Sox-Blue Jays doubleheader. Nick Pivetta, just an average starter, but he's usually good to give up 3-4 runs per outing. I know this is a shortened game, but I think the Blue Jays get to him early on. And then Robbie Ray having a better season than I thought he was going to have, but he is getting into a little bit of trouble with the walks, and we know that that's the reason why he struggled last season, was giving up too many homers and walks. So I do think that the Red Sox put up 2 or 3 runs on him, and this game goes over that 7 total. So I'll take the over.
And for me, we're going to take the under in Seattle and the Yankees game. You look, Seattle's 4-0 to the under their last 4. They're also 4-0 to the under their last 4 as an underdog. You look, they're also 6-2 their last 8 versus a left-handed starter to the under. And Yankees 8-1 to the under their last 9 versus a team with a winning record. They're also 7-3 to the under their last 10 games. So I know we see Heaney and Flexen. Flexen got roughed up last time. Like Heaney, you figure assume over. I'm taking the under. Give me the under in that one. And game 1 of the Jays game, it's an early game. After all that rough to tough last night, I think we got another under in this one. Robbie Ray solid. Jays 6-3-1 to the under in their last 10. Boston 6-4 to the under in their last 10. In the shortened first game, I'm taking the under 7. Boston Jays.
I don't know. I like the White Sox again. It's a total homer pick. I really don't even care what the odds were. It could be minus 600. I still don't care. I don't care if everybody is on the White Sox. Only one person has bet the Cubs. I do not care. I would never take the Cubs in a Cubs-White Sox game, ever. It's the chip on the shoulder. I think Craig Kimbrell, comes back here, and I think he shuts him down late, too. I think he has a comeback if they put him in there. I think they will, late, and give him a chance for some retribution. I don't know. I still think the Yankees, if you score more than 3 or 4 runs, you beat them, and I think the Mariners have the ability to do that. Even the game that the Yankees beat the Mariners, their only win over a team with a winning record in the last 2 weeks, right? The thing is it was a cheap pop fly home run that they beat them on, and it's a home run. It counts the same, But the thing is, if the Mariners could score 4 runs in that game, they still would have won. Right? It's like the Yankees, if you score more than 4 runs, you beat them. That is the book. And I think the Mariners can do that with Heaney on the mound. I just don't see it. I don't see Andrew Heaney holding the Mariners down. And it's like, you look at, how many runs the Yankees have scored each game. And I know they've had a few bigger ones recently, but not big enough, man. It's like most of them, it's 2 or 3 runs, you beat them. You score 4 runs, you beat the Yankees. And, the Mariners just haven't done that to them. They've only scored 2 and 3. And, 4-2, 3-1, 5-3, 3-2. It's like the Yankees are still not hitting the baseball. So they can't afford a pitcher like Heaney who gives up big, big, big damage every single time he steps onto the mound. So I look for Seattle here. I'm going to go on the reverse run line here with the Mariners. Be my first pick today of the show. And then I like that with the and the White Sox. I think the Blue Jays and Boston is a little bit rougher than, Rod's easy under because Pivetta gets hit and Ray.
Jays are also 6-0 to the under in game 1 of a doubleheader.
Well, they weren't under last night. I'll tell you that much. And Nick Pivetta.
It wasn't game 1 of a doubleheader.
It was game 1.
It's hard to say.
And they also played 9 innings.
Who were the doubleheaders against? Was it who were they against? Was it who was pitching in game 1 of those doubleheaders? Was it Max Scherzer? Was it Heaney? It's like, there's a big difference here. It's like, were they playing the Orioles or were they playing, a team with the serious rotation? It's very hard to say because Nick Pivetta has not been good this season, and Brian's a Pivetta guy, and he'll even tell you that. Pivetta's been very hittable. The thing is that these 7-inning games kind of change things, but the one thing that we're looking at here, and we started to look at it yesterday, I started to talk about it on the show, and I think it's definitely something to pay attention to, is that these pitchers have not pitched more than 12 starts in 2 years. So you have these guys like we saw Weathers yesterday, right, in San Diego, where he started off, he was okay that first inning, and then it was like, whoa, right? He couldn't get anybody out. And it's like that's what you're starting to see here. And we saw it with Eovaldi yesterday in Toronto, where it's like he got to the 5th inning, and it was like all of a sudden, it was like he ran into a brick wall. I know these guys are professionals. I know these guys have done it before, but there's something to it, and we've seen it with minor leaguers and young pitchers that come up that wear down late in the season. Well, now it's almost everybody except for the real pros. The real cream is going to rise to the top. Andrew Heaney making his 20th start of the season. I mean, come on, man. It's pinata time. And that's why you saw Flexen tail off last time. He's never started this many games in his life. Right? So it would only make sense. So we're going to start to see the hitters hit the baseball, man, off these guys because they are worn out. They're worn out. And, I don't know. Is the roof on or off in Toronto? I'd never seen it off before. Or at least I didn't remember it until yesterday. It's like all of a sudden, like the roof off. It's like, wait a minute. It's warm enough to put the roof on in Toronto in August? What's going on here?
Yeah, of course.
It's
always hot. It's hot in August. But because it's been so rainy and miserable down there.
It was nice with the roof off.
Yeah.
It looked nice. It looked like a nice day at the park.
They probably do that because of COVID.
Social distancing in Chicago.
If it's nice out, they'll have the roof off. If it's miserable and ugly, they'll have the roof on. And by the way, Nick Fournette is 8-2 to the under his last 10 starts.
You put your hat on the line yesterday. You should put your T-shirt on the line today if the White Sox lose. Come on, shirtless.
I don't think so.
I'll get Mitch to where he's sitting there.
If you lose, you have to wear a shirt that says "I love Bundy."
I love the Cubs.
Steel cage match. All right. What are you selling today, Brian? Your comeback special?
Well, it's going to be a bounce back day, but my best bet is the one I want everybody to get. My avoid the trap game. It's $30 at Pick Dogs. Make sure you're not on the wrong side of this gem. So I have 3 picks in total, but that's my best bet. Avoid the trap game. Pick it up for $30 at pickdogs.com.
Chris Ruffalo lighting up the chat area here. He said the roof's always off in Toronto. It's rare. It's rare they show the top, of the stadium. It's rare that they show it, or maybe I'm just not paying attention because I'm watching so many games. It's like in Arizona. Is the roof ever off in Arizona? I don't know. Or Milwaukee. I have no idea. I can't remember seeing it off. Stello Contos believes Rod is going undefeated, quoting the Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling.
I feel good. It's Super Saturday. Nice Super Saturday 5-pack. Loving today's card. I've normally been going 3 plays only, and I found 5, and I had to stop at 5. Otherwise, I would probably.
That's how I felt yesterday. I still cut it back to 3. It's like I felt that way yesterday. I would have hit them all too.
Feeling a big day coming.
I could see.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night.
I kind of like it without the hat. Romanelli, did you do yours?
No. I've got a 3-pack today in the MLB. Had a nice week in baseball so far, and looking to sweep the board today. Got 3 picks, 2 money line plays, and a run line play. You can check it out at Pick Dogs Premium.
Got our premium show. We're going to do that after. So we're going to do the premium picks after this and send out that video. And then shortly after that, we're going to do the VIP show. We're going to do it early today. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, the recording will be there. So be sure to check that out. And tomorrow, it'll be VIP. I think Sundays, we're just going to do VIP premium combo every Sunday.
So football starts?
No, when football starts it too, I think. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We'll figure it out. You're right. It doesn't make sense to do it for football. Saturday and Sunday. Because there are plenty of night games in college football to do it. There's plenty of late
Hopefully
action.
I can come on at halftime with you.
I don't think so. I've tried having guests at halftime with me. I don't like it.
You need some eye candy.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have special guests. Who knows? I've been doing the Twitter thing. Betting Badass is my Twitter. Don't give out any picks on it at all. I think what I'm going to do is just ask and beg for likes and retweets and not give out the actual pick. I don't understand this, man. It's like I always ask people to hit the like button, you know, but we don't like hold people hostage for likes, you know, right? I don't hold you hostage for likes or shares. I don't understand it. I need 400 retweets. It's like, my bank doesn't take retweets. I'd rather just give it to you guys for free. If you wanted to give us money, well, we'll take it. We don't send it back. Sometimes we do. I guess, whatever. So we have that premium, the VIP. Got a lot coming up. So it's a great time to join the VIP. A lot of people probably saying, I'm going to join it for college football. I'm going to join it for NFL football. I highly advise it. My late halftime show, I never really do the late games. That's the only slot that I don't do games, the halftimes. I always do the early NFL. I do the night games, and I don't do the late games because they don't all start at the same time. So it's a stack. And there's always like just a few games, so it makes it like an awkward thing. But I'm going to try and do those halftimes, and those will be for only premium members and higher. So not just VIP, but premium and higher.
Well, the VIP gets our NFL preseason right now too.
Right, the VIP also gets my NFL preseason for free. I'm giving them out on the VIP show. It's not like you need a code or anything like that. I'm just giving them out on the show. The umps have always been crap. I've been saying this for years. It's like anything, the worst possible calls in any sport are never reviewable. That's the way that it works. The worst, the calls that are the most important, the bad holding call, the non-call, the whatever, those are the ones that are not reviewable. Speaking of not reviewable, Phillies, Mets, Orioles, Rays, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Part 3. Brewers, Giants, what a game that was, man. Woo. Oh, man.
The Giants choked one away.
Well, it sucks that the Giants aren't at the top of their rotation while the Brewers are, so you're not getting those matchups that you would see if it was a postseason game, series. The Giants are
you got Alex Sanchez going.
The Giants are in the middle bottom. Aaron Sanchez.
Aaron
Sanchez.
Aaron, whatever. He's
Aaron Sanchez. Hey, he's got Baltimore experience, doesn't he? I mean, if you have Baltimore experience, then you really know how to spend some time out on the mound. But the thing about rolling a guy like Sanchez out there, he's only got 8 games played and 6 starts, and he's only pitched 33 innings, so he's going to be the fresher pitcher here. And it's that whole thing that I just talked about, and I will continue to talk about. And having a guy, he's got a 2.97. It was Toronto where he got bashed around for the bulk of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. In 2019, that 23 games, 6.07, 20 games, 30 games, 41 games.
Wow.
It's like this is what I'm saying. It's like last year the guys at the most in a 60 game season, even if they went to the 4-man rotation, which a lot of teams tried to do last year, we're talking 12 to 15 starts. Now they're already in the 20s and plus. So it's a big difference. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since these guys have done this. It's a long time. I mean, all right. Anyways, Rod, what do you think of these 4?
These 4. I'm going to take the Phillies. Just keep on rolling. They've just been playing the better baseball, and how can you get off that train? So I'll take the Phillies over the Mets in that one. And I like the over in the Rays in Baltimore. I think you see a whole pile of runs like we did yesterday. I think we easily get over 10. Give me the over Rays and Orioles.
That was a crazy game.
A
lot of ass slapping on both sides.
On both sides, yeah.
A lot of ass slapping. And in fact, there was a play where Mountcastle fell down or something, and even the guy from the other team slapping his ass, which looked a little odd.
We got the ass slapping going on.
Yeah, it's like he fell down, he came over his, hey, what the hell was with that? A lot of ass slapping in that series. It's like I always do that when I go to, because I got so many games on. I'm always like, oh man, I missed what happened. I was like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, but there's a lot of ass slapping going on. Whole lot of ass slapping. Brian?
Yeah, for me, I don't really love that grouping, but I'll take a flyer with the San Francisco Giants plus 1.5 here, even with Dirty Sanchez on the mound. You got Woodruff, who has looked hittable. I guess the innings are starting to wear on him a little bit. I just think it's going to be a highly contested game. So I'll take the 1.5, play the minus 120 juice here. I think it's a close game.
You're taking a 1.5?
Yep, I'm going to take the plus.
Too good to be true. Hot diggity dog. Romanelli?
Yeah, I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Tampa Bay Rays here. You saw yesterday's game, the Orioles led after 5 innings, and then Tampa Bay went to work against the Orioles bullpen. Sometimes that's why you got to take those first 5, because Orioles usually play well in the beginning of games against the starter, against left-handed starters especially. But even though Shane McClanahan is a lefty, I think he's a different type of lefty. I think he's going to strike out plenty of Orioles today. I would take the over in his strikeout prop. And I think the Rays win this one comfortably. Spencer Watkins has regressed every start he's had. He started out really strong, and then last start against the Tigers, 4 earned. Previous start, 4 earned against the Marlins, 9 hits. So I think the Rays get to him, and I think they win this game easily. I'll lay the 1.5.
I like the under in this Jays Red Sox game. I wish this was game 1. It would fit Rod's model a little better. Tanner Houck has pitched pretty well, and the Red Sox have a lot of confidence in him. They've actually moved Martin Perez to the bullpen officially because of the way that Houck has pitched. And they have him up here against Barrios, who pitched pretty well for Toronto. The change of scenery did him well. But one thing we do know about Barrios is that it's a 7-inning game. He probably could go the distance in something like this. He's super efficient. It's not like the problem with Barrios is never that. It's always that he has the inning that he makes a mistake, and he never seems to get the backup because he was the number 1 in Minnesota. So it's like he was always facing the other team's number 1. But here he's kind of like in the, it's kind of they're not sure where he is in the rotation. Everything's kind of messed up right now. So he catches Houck, and they probably does get some backup a little bit, enough to get it done. But in a 7-inning game, he could go the distance. I mean, he is a guy that could go the distance in a 7-inning. So I like the under in that one, in the Blue Jays Red Sox. And I definitely like the Phillies a ton. I think run line, double run line, whatever. Tyler McGill's ERA doubles up on the road. He's got like a 1.8 at home, and on the road he's like a 4. And then Suarez Phillies haven't lost a game that he started at home this season. They're 4-0 in Suarez's starts in Philadelphia. Also, he's got a 1.37 at Citizens Bank. So I just think that the Mets are going in one direction and the Phillies are going in the other. And I think when Didi Gregorius starts hitting home runs off of you, you have bigger problems than you could possibly imagine. Marcus Stroman I think the at-bat with the bases loaded by Stroman was one of the more pathetic at-bats by a pitcher that you'll ever see in a key spot. It was like, I don't want to make contact with the ball because I'm going to hit into a double play if I do. And meanwhile, on the other side, when Gibson got up to the plate, it was almost like you knew he was going to get a hit. He was like super aggressive. The balls of his feet were dug in, He was like fired up and ready to go, and he just stroked one, I don't know. These are two teams just going in opposite directions. It's like I don't see it. I don't see them. I think the Mets are in big trouble. I'm not saying the Mets are done for the season because this is what the Mets do, right? Now all of a sudden they'll be 5 back and it'll be the Miracle Mets. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Yeah. Definitely been a rough week for the Metropolitan fans. Starting to see that money pour in on Philly here. Line's moving too. So Bet it early, bet it off. All right. Reds Pirates. Oof. They took out the ugly stick yesterday in that one. Everyone, when Tyler Naquin's hitting home runs, that's like the other guy, right? It's like Tyler Naquin hits a home run. It's like no reason to even watch this game. The Indians and the Tigers, Part 2. That one was as one-sided as it gets. Then you got the Astros and the Twins. The Astros are out to a 3-0 lead, and today I'm hatless. And got the Cardinals and the Royals. Romanelli, talk to me.
Well, I'm going to take your hatless Astros today. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Houston. Not only is the Astros frustrated after 2 bad losses to one of the worst teams in baseball, but they really dominate this pitching matchup. And you look, Luis Garcia coming off 2 bad starts. I think he bounces back today, and I don't think Luis Ariz is going to be in the lineup for the Twins. He was taken out of the game early after injured himself, making that stop on the line drive by Correa. Pineda is somebody I like to fade often. Even though his ERA is sub-4s, he's not a sub-4 ERA pitcher. His stuff isn't as good as he was when he was in his 20s, and I think the Astros are going to hit him pretty hard today. I would even think about laying alternate run lines here with Houston. I think this is going to be a comfortable revenge win for the Astros, so that's where I'm headed.
For everyone trying to dump on the Mets here and think that they're done, trust me on this one, they're not done. They're just in a really, really bad funk, and it's like they get Monday off, and that's when they're going to turn it around. They get back home, they catch the Nationals, who have been just free-falling themselves, and then the Phillies play the Dodgers. So it's like, believe me, it's going to be right back to where we were, but it's like right now, it's just it's like playing road playoff games. I mean, this is what it is. That we're at that time of year. This is a rivalry to begin with, and throw in that it's that these are for first place. And I don't live in Philadelphia, but I asked Brian yesterday. And he said, yeah. He said even some girl that he was talking to said, "Oh, you better not have the Mets today." Right? That's the type of excitement that they have going on there. Where it's like there's that buzz, kind of like I'm not a hockey guy. But when I lived in Chicago and the Hawks were winning, I was all of a sudden excited about it too. It was a big deal, It's kind of the same thing. And that's what sports is, right? That's what sports is all about. That's why we all love sports. That's why we all started watching it when we were kids. It's why we watch it now, and now we just, make it a little more entertaining. Rod?
For me, in these ones, I'm going to take the over in the Astros and Twins game. We got a push yesterday at 9. I think today we hit that over. No push today. I'm going to go over the number Twins, Astros. And I don't know how you'd not take the Reds by like -3.5, -4.5. I don't see how the Reds just walk in and kick the crap out of Pittsburgh again. And I'm not worried about Keller on the mound. I know Gutierrez has been
terrible
been
at
bad.
home. Terrible at home. Terrible.
Yeah.
He's
But
great
I
on
think
the
the
road.
bats can give him enough run support like they did yesterday, and he can give up a few too. So. But,
No, it couldn't really go there because I loved Miley yesterday against Brubaker. Brubaker's been terrible on the road. Miley's like, if you have a sub-3 ERA at Great American, that's sick. That's like off the chain. But, this isn't the case with Vladdy Gutierrez. He's lousy at home. He's the pitcher. He's the pitcher that Brian Bittler claims he is every time he steps on the mound. Brian hates Gutierrez. Hates him. And he always badmouths him. But the thing is that on the road he's like 5-1. It's like 5-1 on the road.
But the Pirates pitcher's no prize either.
Oh no. Oh, this is like the Diamondbacks Padres game yesterday. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. All over again. That's why it's tough to get behind Vladdy. I think, like I said in the video, it's like I just like the over. It's like just give me an over here. It's like why complicate it? It's like you get your 3 innings in, you're in the hot tub because you're already over. You're already over.
Well, for me, in those groupings of games, I don't know about my junior sharp here. I might have to throw him out of the club taking the Astros today. I think the Minnesota Twins get another win over the Houston Astros. Garcia hasn't pitched well lately, and I think there's something up with that. A lot of innings on his arm. He's a young pitcher still. And Pineda's been pitching better, so I think the Twins sneak another one in. So I would lay the money line and the +1.5, double bet that. And I learned my lesson yesterday. I'm on the Cleveland Indians today. Tigers just 21-34 on the road. I'm trying to get my money back, lay the juice here. I think Cleveland gets another W.
I'm not saying Keller doesn't get rocked. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying Gutierrez is going to get rocked too. He's terrible at home. He's not a good home pitcher.
His last two starts were good, but they have been on the road. So
yeah, no, he's really good on the road. His ERA is 2 runs lower on the road than it is at home.
oh, yeah.
It's actually 4 runs lower.
Yeah, 4 runs.
Yeah,
See, that is
it's 4.
Yeah, it's 4 runs. It was 2. It was 2. So it's now 4 runs lower on the road than it is at home. He's allowed. So here's the thing about the Cincinnati pitchers. We've been following this all season. Maile, terrible at home. Gutierrez, terrible at home. It's like Cincinnati doesn't get the reputation that it deserves as being such a good hitter's ballpark. It is the second best hitter's ballpark in baseball. It is second to Coors Field, which should be in a category by itself. It is a better hitter's ballpark than Arizona, where they humidify the baseballs. It was built so Ken Griffey Jr. could take a run at the home run record. That's why they built it like that. It was built like that. They wanted to get Ken Griffey Jr. They built this stadium to get him. And once they got him, they hoped that he would break the home run record. He ended up being injured most of his time that he was in Cincinnati. But he was a local guy. His father played for the Reds. He grew up in Cincinnati. He played high school baseball in Cincinnati. One of those guys. And it was like, here he was in Cincinnati. He's going to break the home run record. We'll just put a really short porch all the way around. It's like, we'll make it super easy for him to break the home run record. And he just ended up being injured. So now what we're left with is Vladdy Gutierrez trying to hold down the fort in, a bandbox. It's not pretty. There's nothing pretty about it. So I think the Reds are a little bit of a sucker play here today, to be honest with you. I know that Keller's not thing, but this to me looks like the sucker play on the board. No?
I like the under.
I like the
That's
over.
one of them.
I love the under. Everybody's looking at the 2 pitchers, and you're like, whoa, look at that ERA at home, 7. Well, no.
I don't think so. I think they're looking at yesterday's Reds beatdown, and they're saying Reds, 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 Reds.
Yeah, I think they win again. I don't think it's going to be as a big a beatdown, but and I don't think we see as many runs either.
I don't know. I like the Pirates in that. I'm going to go Pirates.
Mitch is taking a ride in the Jolly Roger today.
I don't like the way that sounded.
I don't want to ride the Jolly Roger.
I ain't riding. Not when Bittler says it. That's for damn sure. Anyways. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Pirates. I like the over there. Let's see which way the wind is blowing. Make it even worse. Straight out. It's going to be home run prop fest. 90 degrees, 88 degrees. Oof. Yeah. Nothing fun about that one. What are the other games in this slot? Astros, Twins, and I like the Cardinals again against the Brewers. Once again, it's one of these local rivalry games, and the Cardinals probably not a lot to play for this year. And this Keller not any good either. So take the Cards in that one. Got the Bravos and the Nationals. The Rockies and the Marlins. Whew, I knew in the video, I said it, all along. I did not have a good feeling about that one. And I changed sides. You got the Padres and the D-backs. D-backs coming through for me yesterday. And Dodgers, Angels. Not Berea. Yes, it will be Berea. I like this slot, but I really like Austin Gomber, man. This guy knows how to pitch in that altitude. It's rare you get a pitcher that just thrives in the altitude. And Gomber is actually a better home pitcher than he is on the road, which is weird for Coors Field. But he fits that mold. He's just really good at Coors, while Luzardo is a good young arm, I don't see it. I don't like the way the Marlins play. Well, sometimes you got to just take the easy. And I think this is another one of those spots. Both these teams came into baseball at the same time, pre-Dayton Romanelli here, but they both were expansion teams that came in the same year. And I think the Rockies have a gigantic edge in this series, just gigantic. I would expect that they carry it on here today with Gomber, who's been just a tough hombre. He's been, you trade Arenado for this guy, and you're kind of like, oh, whatever. But it's like, I see it. I can see it. That this guy, it's tough to, for me, I never really understand that, the pitcher pitches once every 5 days, so he should get 1/5 of what a normal salary is, even though they get double, right, or 5 times what everybody else. It's one of those weird baseball economic things. But Gomber is actually really good. And
1.98 at home.
Yep.
And 5 point something on the road. 5.4.
He's way better at home. It's like one of those weird things. He has like one of those.
You never see that.
No, you never see it.
Especially for a lefty too. It's harder to be a lefty, of course.
He just gets super fired up, when he's out there. And we look at the Marlins. I rode them a lot earlier this season, but they hit significantly worse against lefties than they do against righties also. While for the Rockies, they hit, 20% better against lefties, which they face here. Yeah. So probably easy Rockies money, as much as square and obvious as Bitler thinks it is.
Marlins are second worst against lefties this year.
Worst. And they've also committed the most errors of any team in baseball.
Oh yeah.
By a long ways. So being on the road and the altitude probably not going to help that number. I don't know. I was on the D-backs yesterday, and but I almost went on Twitter and said I'm going to do an in-game on when they were down 5-0. I was like, oh, I'm going to do an in-game, and it's like I didn't do it, but whatever. That's it for me, Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go pretty square. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm going to lay 3.5 at plus 172 payout here. I just think the Dodgers kicked the crap out of the Angels after losing yesterday. Urias, Jose on the mound, been fantastic this season. And just the Angels are in that spot where they're going to get roughed up. So that's my pick. I don't love it, but I like it.
Not Maria.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to have to agree, unfortunately, because I don't like taking the Dodgers and I don't like laying 3.5 runs. But to me, it's the only play you can make in this one to get some value back. Berea, sure, he has a 4.12 ERA, which is not too shabby thus far, but he's not pitching well. 3.66 strikeouts per 9, that's little to none. It's one of the worst totals in the league. And it's, even though it's a small sample, he wasn't striking out many guys in AAA or the rest of his MLB career either. Gives up a good amount of walks as well, and I think
no, he doesn't.
Is the type of game.
No, he doesn't. Not this year.
3.66 walks per 9.
Yeah, but this year he's only had 4 outings, and he walked 1 batter last time in 6.2 innings, 2 batters in 7 innings, and 1 in thing. His first outing of the year is where he went bad. He had 2. He only went 2 innings in his first outing, so it's kind of like a pitcher at the beginning of the season where if they get roughed up early, they have an ERA and stats that are way out of whack. So he had 2 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, and 4 walks. That's more walks than he's had in the next 3 starts combined. It's also he's given up 2 total runs since that. So it's like that was just his first start. So and that was
Well,
after that start,
3.1.
he had a month and a half off because he was actually injured when he was out there pitching.
Well, in 264 MLB innings, he has 3.1 walks per 9. And he's still not striking out a good amount of guys. Gives up a good amount of homers too.
Last year in 7 starts, he was 5-1 with a 3.62. He walked 9 batters in 32 innings.
Still 2.5.
I understand that, but if you look at some of these other pitchers early in their career numbers, and then you see that they actually found something, that works. It's like,
well, I don't think he's found it yet because he's still striking out nobody.
But that's not his game. He's not a strikeout pitcher.
Well, if you don't miss bats against the Dodgers, you're going to struggle, and I just think the Dodgers get to him. He doesn't 3.6 Ks per 9 is not going to do it. And 6.2 in AAA is not going to do it either. And it's just all the numbers tell me he's going to get rocked pretty soon. But, he's still a young guy, so we'll see if he's only 25, so he might later on in his career. But
last year he was 5-1 with a 3.62. 2018, 10-9 with a 3.41. And the walks numbers have gone down and down and down every single season.
But then why is he not a consistent starter in the league if he's so good?
Because they had a stocked rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to send Mitch a Berea jersey or something.
They had Bundy.
Yeah, where could they fit him in between Canning and Bundy?
Heaney. Heaney was part of that.
Who else was in there?
Otani.
Oh, Alex Cobb, too.
Yeah, and Otani.
Cobb is their strongest.
Otani.
But, yeah, I think, I don't like laying 3.5, but I just think it's the only option here. So I'll lay that with the Dodgers. And I also like the under in that Diamondbacks-Padres game. I think Yu Darvish has a strong start, and Taylor Widener does a good enough job to keep the Padres bats at bay. I do think San Diego wins this one, 5-1. Final score 6-1 in that range, so I'll take the under.
I think that 4.12 ERA is an unfair number. I think it's
better than what it's going to be.
I don't think so. Don't think so. Rod,
4 runs you're gonna lay? Jeez.
3.5.
Good luck. I'll take the Angels on the money line in that one. He's come back up. He's had 2 starts this year and looked real well doing it. So I'll take Berea. Seems like we bash the snot out of somebody and they come back and they play pretty good. So
yep, Kyle Gibson. He's
definitely right. So how can you not? I'll take the Angels here at this plus money. We only got to win by 1, so I'll take the Angels in that one. I also like the over in that game. I think we're going to see some runs. Low scoring early, get some runs late. I'll take the over, Angels and Dodgers.
The Angels are above 500 team. They're not like, teams that you see the Dodgers whoop it up on.
5-4, Angels win.
Yep, 6-0 Angels. Reverse run line. Brian, did you give yours? This one?
Yeah, I already took the Dodgers minus 3.5.
Okay.
Minus 3.5, you should be getting at least 5 times your money. Ooh.
It's an easy one.
Brian's on tilt.
What's the plus 3.5? That sounds like too diggity, hot diggity.
Brian is
Berea stinks. There's nobody's gonna talk me out of that.
Brian, you're on tilt.
One day just make it tilt.
Laying the 2.5 is plus 105. It's not bad either, but I'd say 2.5.
Are you wearing an Angels hat and laying minus 3.5 with the Dodgers?
Yeah, maybe.
Every time you go against them, the Angels, all of a sudden they win. I love the Angels today now. You're all over the Dodgers. I'm going to send you a Dodgers hat.
Me and Al Ninos both like that.
Yeah, Nino. Ninos is tuned in. Bitler needs some Dodgers gear. He's gonna hump the Dodgers the rest of the year. He's like, yeah, the Dodgers go.
All right. Well, that brings it home. Parlay time. Rod?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna go with the Indians on the money line, the Phillies on the money line, and take the over in the Angels and Dodgers game.
I'm going to take the Houston Astros and lay the 1.5. I'm going to take the over in the Yankees Mariners, and I'm going to take the under in the Padres Diamondbacks.
I'm going to go with the Indians on the money line and the Minnesota Twins on the money line. Just a 2-game parlay.
I'm going to go with the Blue Jays game 2 with Barrios. The under in game 2. So same game parlay. And I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates here against the Reds. Keller. Against Vladdy Gutierrez. See if we can get that ERA up just a couple. There's a little room. There's a little room up there. I think too many people are on the Reds after yesterday, too, to be honest with you. Brian wants to ride the Jolly Roger.
That's from Mitch.
Creepier words were never spoken. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. Let's make it a winning day. Going to try and act more professional tomorrow. We'll get my hat back. Pig Dog's hat. I got my mesh hat. Fitted hat. I never wear this one.
I got to get one of those.
I don't know. Kind of like I always kind of like the trucker. This isn't like a nice golf hat, but it's a little hot because it's black. This one.
Still say you should put your shirt on the line.
That one has like a gray bill. How come mine doesn't have a gray bill? It's weird.
This one?
No, the other one.
No, it doesn't.
The trucker one.
Oh, underneath.
Underneath. Yeah, mine has a black. It's black underneath. Oh, that one.
You sure?
It's not right here. I can't just reach out and grab it. It's in the living room there. Yeah, my flex fit is yours is a different flex fit though. Yours is actually a true flex fit.
Old school. These Sport Chat hats were not nearly as nice as. I'll have to get them. I'm gonna have to.
That one looks a little flat.
For our relaunch, when we do our relaunch, I should get new stuff.
My head's too big for that Sports Chat hat. Never fit.
All right. Okay. Who asked you? Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. Try and act more professional tomorrow. VIP show is going to follow this. We're going to do the premium picks, send it out, and then about 3 minutes after that, we're going to start the VIP. So we'll see you guys in a few seconds.